Hey, everybody, I'm Leon Thomas, and you're here for a special edition of NRG. This week, we're calling today's show the NRG Showcase. You're going to learn about NRG members, learn about their businesses, and of course, learn more about Network Referral Group. Here we go. Leon Thomas here with Mike Weiner. Hey, Mike, we're here for the first annual. Can we say annual when it's the first time? Did you have to wait till year two? I don't know, but it's the first NRG showcase. Mike, you excited?
I am so pumped, Leon. It's been a great year, and you and I have just continued our friendship and business relationship. And yeah, you came up with the NRG Showcase idea a couple of months ago. We've got 11 members. We're highlighting a lot of new announcements, and what a great way to end the year for all of our members and future members. So appreciate you, Leon. It's the first annual NRG Showcase. It's going
And
to be amazing.
the
Why are you laughing
NRG
at me?
because first of all, I hear that kind of broadcasty raspy drive coming out of you, right? I hear that, but I'm also thinking someone's going to text or call about this whole first annual thing. I'm just seeing that somebody's going to do that, and I'm trying to think of what my response will be. What do I say? Hey, thanks for watching. Do
Yeah,
I
you
say
tell
shut
them
up or
you
what?
you tell them they can't get on until the second annual NRG Showcase coming December 30th or approximate of 2023. So you just sell the future. That's what you do in this amazing Ravens Steelers week. I got
Sell the
football in
future.
there.
So
There
yes, you
you
did
go.
get football in there, and I was kind of hoping that you would. But I'm thinking about a situation that happened at Harvard University. This goes back about 30 years or so ago. I'm
Yes.
walking around campus, and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the gym's at?" And this guy says, "Young man," goes back to the whole idea. Can you say first annual? This is what this ties into,
Right,
right?
right.
So I go through, and this guy, he says, I said, "Hey, can you tell me where the gym's at?" And he says, "Young man, we at Harvard do not end our sentences in prepositions." I said, "Oh, well, it's like that, huh?
Oh,
Oh, okay."
uh,
I said, "Well,
wow.
excuse me, could you please tell me where the gym is? You jerk." Yeah, put up, boom, boom. See, jerk. See, you get the idea, right? Okay. So if don't call me, don't text me, tell them we can't say first annual because we are. Mike, we got a couple of minutes
Yes.
before we bring our first guest on. For those that don't know, tell us what NRG is. Tell us about Network Referral Group.
Let's start at NRG back in January 2001. We're finishing up our 24th year. We are a full service networking organization committed to helping you grow your business. When COVID hit, we went to the internet, we went to Zoom, we went from 3 states to 33 states. We now in other countries, Australia, Canada, going into India January 12th, Hong Kong later in the year. You will get 3 referrals at your first meeting, and then you'll get generally another 15 to 20. It is a way to grow your business, Leon. It's warm, it's inviting, it's upbeat. And if you can't tell, it's representative of my energy. Everybody in NRG brings their A game all the time. Energy, and we also mix it with law of attraction. And that's a big part of NRG servitude. If you forget everything about Mike Weiner, I'm here to serve you, help you. And you know what, Leon, you and I have been serving each other for almost 25 years now, and it's been an honor to be your friend and continue on NRG this week with, did we say it? The first NRG? I forgot the word.
Showcase.
Showcase. I got extravaganza in
You
my
got
head.
there's
I had a
so many
senior moment.
things.
I
So
had a
many
senior
things.
moment, my friend.
Oh man.
Thank you for
Now
bailing me
here you
out.
go. Now why did you have to bring up age? Because certain folks in the production team are trying to still figure out how old
Oh
I
my
am.
God.
Notice
You
keyword
know
there,
what?
how old. But let's not talk about that any further.
No, I want them to realize people of our age, we still can bring our A game all the time. We've got
Our
energy.
vintage, yes, we bring it all the time.
We're
Let's
vintage.
bring
We're
on
vintage.
our first guest, Richard Gary. Hey, Rich, how you doing?
Hey, hi, how are you, everybody? Good to see
Everybody,
y'all.
it's good to see you too. I'm glad you're here,
Me
Rich.
too.
So, Rich, we got like 10 minutes to talk with you, and I don't want to take it up with a whole lot of stuff, but I got to ask you, everybody's going to get asked two questions by me, and then you're going to roll, then I'm going to come back and talk to you some more. Rich, have you ever had a Maryland crab cake?
Yes, sir.
Where?
You name it.
Oh, so you're
Fadley's,
you're from Maryland?
Fadley's,
Ah,
Ocean
you're in. You get
City.
a bonus minute. You've had one at Fadley's. You get a bonus minute. You're in. You get a
Okay.
bonus minute today.
Oh, good.
Your bonus minute. Rich, I'm going to back out. Let you and Mike go ahead and talk some about your business, your relationship with Mike and NRG. I'll come back in a couple minutes. Guys, take it away.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Leon. Rich, great to see you, buddy. Happy holidays. And,
Hey,
we've got
happy holidays to you,
11,
Michael.
11
Thank you.
members today for the NRG Showcase. And you and I go way back. We worked together when we were doing live meetings. You and I both have documented health challenges, issues. And, you always bring your A game. Leon and I were talking about age and things like that. And the three of us are not the youngest, but we definitely have a lot of energy. So, I know you're in health and wellness. What is it about health and wellness that you personally are so passionate about? Why do you like to help people with their health? And if you want to tie it into a personal story about things you overcome, that would be great. And then I'll probably have another question or two for you. But
That'd be great.
why are you so empowered to help people?
Because I think people are underpowered, and I think that you can take a lot of matters in your own hand if you educate yourself properly to do that. And I just want to have people have an awareness that they're not a sitting duck when they're in the emergency room, that they can participate. And it's your body. You're the owner. You're the manager. Medical people are co-managers if at that point. A lot of things are well intended and not poorly, somewhat poorly executed and so forth. And I just think people need to know. And you want to have a long life. Everybody wants to have a long life. Well, you want to have a good life. It isn't any good if you're long, it isn't good. You need to have both, and you can. And you just need to take some steps forward and have confidence in your own vindication of what's going on and so forth. So that's the short answer.
No, that's great. You were one of my sponsors at the extravaganza, and we're not going to get too into the sales part of it, but you've got these really cool, unique patches that anybody can wear. What are some of the benefits of the patches? I know they can help with sleep, circulation, but give our audience a little bit of an idea of some of the medical things that they may be struggling with, and they've gone to the doctor, Rich, and you and I know this. They put them on a medicine, and it has a side effect. And before you know it, they're on 30, 40, 50 drugs. So what are some of the benefits of the patches that you personally use? I've used them. I've seen success with it, but maybe talk about two or three benefits that are worldwide, that are really, people are struggling a lot with this COVID thing. What are some of the benefits of the patches for the members here?
Benefits of the patches, in particular, this guy, X39. This is a stem cell patch. What it does, it activates your stem cells. And the benefits there is that it's going to give you better cognitive function. It's going to give you more energy, more vitality, and so forth. It helps with sleep. It helps with wound healing. It helps with revascularization of your arteries and your entire circulatory network. And it's amazing. And it's only been around for 2 years, and it activates your stem cells, not somebody else's. And so you can control it. It's affordable, and you wear it. You just see the little patch here, right there.
Absolutely.
That's the patch.
Yes.
And you put that on, and you wear it for 12 hours. I've had some amazing results. I know you want results. And I'm a cardiac patient, 33-year cardiac patient. The average patient lasts 9 years, according to the American Medical Association.
Wow.
So I've kind of screwed that number up. And it's because I take an active part. God's got his hand in there as well. And but I've had these patches on for 2 years. And I just did a nuclear stress test. which is not a lot of fun. If you've had one, you know. And I should be gumming in at like 123 to 125 pulse rate max. Okay, at my age, I'm 77, and it's probably a little bit less than that. Could be like 120. I tested at 136. That's
Wow.
a 50-year-old test, and that's the second year in a row. And my cardiologist, I love him, but you look at him and you know he's a brainiac, and he goes, "What are you doing? You're the same as you were last year. How did you get there? What are you doing?" And I just said, the patches. I use the X39, which I showed you, and X49. It's unbelievable. And it's all documented, and it's double-blind studies, and it's all money back and everything. So nobody's going to take any risk except the manufacturer. And they work,
That's
and they're
amazing.
so
Yeah, that's amazing. You're 77 and you showed up as a 50-year-old. That's 27 years. That's
yeah.
almost 3 decades, and that's huge. One last question for you, and then we'll bring Leon back in. I think one of the first times you and I met was at the Hilton. It's now the DoubleTree by Hilton in Columbia.
Yep.
You came to live meetings. You were very involved with my summits back in the day. We kind of lost touch. You reached out to me one day. We were already on Zoom and we got reconnected. What is it? There's a lot of people watching this that have never heard of NRG. In a nutshell, maybe in 2 minutes or less, what is it about NRG that a guy like you at 77, you've had your AARP card for a couple of years, Rich, right? But what is it about you? And you've got a lot of energy, and you and I've always been friends, always. But what is it that brings you back to NRG? We're on Zoom now, and personally, I think it's more effective than driving to a meeting and gas and all that. But what is it about NRG that brings you back time and time again, year after year?
It's real people trying to help you have a real business, and nobody has airs, and it's a warm place, and it's a happy landing. I mean, I come in and I'm like, challenged with the internet and the tools and this and that, and I crash and burn at least once a day, and you guys go, "Here he goes again. Oh, Captain Crash and Burn,"
Right.
And it's like, hey, so what? Hit click and keep moving, brother. And I know that this can help me with a business, and particularly all the entrepreneurs with NRG. They're all growing. They're all trying to get their business going. You need to have your health to do that. I can help you. And we sample you in this. We're not here to sell you a bunch of stuff and a lot of sales BS. We're here to help you because we care. And that's what I see with NRG. Everybody cares, and everybody's got great skill sets. And if they don't have it, they'll help you find it. So there we go.
Right on.
That's a great way to describe it, Rich. Appreciate that. So,
Appreciate
Leon, I'm going to turn it back over to you, my friend.
Hey, Rich, here's a question for you. If folks want to get in touch with you, how do they do that? Is there a phone number, email, website, or anything?
Well,
how do they get in touch?
The best way to get me is 410-409-2915. Text me. I get so many phone calls and I don't know who's who. So just text me and say, hey, need info. Put X39 next to it or something like that. We have 15 patches total, and we can help you with so many different things. And we can send you a video and we'll explain all that, 3 minutes or less. No obligation. We're here to help you guys.
And let me have the phone number again, please, Rich.
Yes, sir. 410-409-2915.
All right, great. So, folks, you want to get in touch with Rich, it's 410-409-2915. Rich Gary, tell him you saw him on the first annual NRG Showcase right here.
All right. Thanks for having me lead off. Woohoo!
That's right. You're the first guest on the first ever.
I am. My God.
Right. That's right. That's why you were first, and you had a crab cake from Fadley's. That's why you got an extra 2 minutes. That's why. That's why.
It. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you. I love it.
All right. Thank you, Rich. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, and thank you.
Happy holidays, Rich. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mike, here we go. We've got our first guest, Rich Gary, in the books. Everything's taken care of there. Great information. And what about you, Mike? Let's talk crab cake. We got like 2 minutes. I know you've had a Maryland crab cake, but from where?
Linthicum. What's it called? G&M? You ever been over there in Linthicum?
G&M's in Linthicum? You call that a
G&M.
real
I think
crab cake?
yeah, yeah. They got
Uh,
great food there. Yes, sir.
there's
Absolutely.
some that would argue that, but it is. I like the place down the street from it though, called
What's
the
that place
Olive
called?
Garden, Olive Grove.
I know that place. That's awesome.
Olive Grove. Yeah, I like
I
that one.
know
But
that place.
yeah,
Very cool.
G&M's is
Very
pretty
cool.
good stuff. When I used to work in the
Yep.
hotel business with hotels down by BWI, folks would say, "Where I get a crab cake?" Used to give them directions to G&M's. Yeah, we used to do
Yep.
that. So
Yep.
right on. So looks like our next guest, Mike Martin, is with us. Let's bring Mike on in. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Awesome.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Mike.
Mike.
Good to have you with us. Mike, the question that everyone's getting asked today, the first question from me, have you ever had a Maryland crab cake?
No,
You have not had a Maryland crab cake. Okay,
no.
well, I want to thank you for not eating a Maryland crab cake when you're not in Maryland. Many folks do that. They get Maryland style crab cake and you go, "Stop. No. That's not a real crab cake." But at least you didn't say that you had. And because of that, we're going to give you an extra 30 seconds in the conversation today. You are the second guest on the first annual. Are we allowed to say annual, Rich?
Yes, sir.
You are? Okay. And Barry says he likes Olive Grove. You love Olive Grove. Right on, Barry. Right on. Right on. So I'm going to back away. Coach Mike, you and Mike, the Mike and Mike show, take it away.
You got it. Hey, Mike Martin, good to see you, buddy. Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays to you as well.
Have you ever been to Maryland? I don't know if you've been to Maryland. Have you?
I've been I've been to Maryland. I actually lived in Falls Church, Virginia
Okay.
when I was a
Very
kid.
close.
And then I was working for that little company, that little copier company called Xerox,
I've
and
heard of them.
I worked out of an office that the headquarters was in Arlington, but I was stationed out in Oakland, California. And
Right.
one time we had a meeting down in Annapolis. So
Okay.
so I
The
went.
capital of the capital. Sure. So for the folks watching today, a couple things about Mike Martin. We have the same first name, the same middle name. We both are members of the Triple Bypass Club. We both like to run NRG meetings. Mike and I met in California group, even though he had moved to Houston. He approached me about Katy, Texas. Mike, you also are involved in health and wellness. And, we're starting a new year right now. A lot of people have a lot of goals. You've got some unique products. Put it on. The pain is gone. I don't know if I said that right today.
No,
Rub it on.
rub it
Rub
on.
it on. The pain is gone. I got it. I got it. What is it about health and wellness that really gets you motivated? You wake up in the morning and you are a vet. You've had some issues. You've used the products yourself. I hear testimonials all the time from happy members in Houston and Katy, like Maurice Warner, etc. What is it about you that drives you to go out and help people time and time again every single day?
Well, what motivates me is I am a veteran, as you mentioned, a disabled veteran because I was in Vietnam, and I am infected with that stuff that many of us acquired over there, Agent Orange. So I got affected by that, and because of that, I've been on a mission because all that Western medicine really tries to do is give you the meds, RX meds. And what are RX meds? They come from nature, actually, most of them, but they change a molecule of one of the items, one of the ingredients, so they can patent it. And that's how they box people out and make a lot of money. Well, since everything comes from nature in the first place, and how many, you hear that old word, the medicine doctors or the shamans or whatever, they've been using things from nature for thousands of years. Why can't we use some things from nature that, that you put the right formulas together, you put the right ingredients together, and they can have a dramatic impact on somebody's body, their well-being, their mindset, everything. Because when you're feeling better, you're going to do better. You're going to be a happier person. You're not going to be in pain all the time, you know. So there's different what we use the term modalities out there. So there's
Yes.
different ways to attack a problem, and sometimes you can use multiple ways of doing that, and it has an even greater impact. Uh, I have a broad product line, and the thing that's funny is we've been around for 24 years, and
Wow.
we didn't use any of the CBD, which is now the biggest, hottest thing going on out there, and that's one ingredient. That's all it is, one. We have multiple ingredients in our products that blend together to give a synergistic approach for penetrating through the skin to find the inflammation and swelling, which drives probably 98% of all the pain that's out there. So I have
Wow.
a
Very
wide
cool.
array of different things, and for those of you that might be interested, I have a gift for everybody, a gift certificate. All you got to do is text me your first and last name, and I'll have a phone number. I also need an email. So that's all. And
That's
and I'll
awesome.
get I will get you in the system. And if you follow up on the email that you receive and fill it out, they're going to put a $10 credit into the shopping cart, waiting for you to execute it. Easy peasy. Gift
Awesome.
certificate for 10 bucks. So just
Nope.
text it to
Yep.
my number, and my number is 925-323-1093. 925-323-1093, and we'll go from there.
That's awesome. Our first gift certificate through the NRG Showcase. One more quick question for you, Mike. You and I hit it off right away. First meeting was like instant. What is it about NRG for you that, if someone has never been to a group or they've been in a traditional leads group, haven't had a lot of success, what is it for you about the NRG system? And there's obviously a system here with weekly meetings, extravaganzas, now the first ever NRG showcase. What is it for you that you would say to new folks for 2023? Their business is struggling. What would you say to them?
Well, what I would tell them is, if you're going to come and join us, you're going to start receiving referrals that can become leads, and you're going to meet a whole lot of people. You're going to join a family of people who are in the business of giving, not receiving. The more you give, the more you're going to get. And people that just drive to that philosophy, which is what drives Mr. Michael here to do his thing. Because when you give, you do receive, and you make connections that you'll be surprised. Out of the blue, you're going to get a phone call from somebody that says, "Hey, Mike, you said you needed this," and I said, "Yep." I said, "Well, here we got somebody I just met." Boom,
Like it.
and it just comes out of the blue because you have repetition of giving, giving. You see it happening in front of you the whole time,
Awesome.
Right.
and you just get it. It comes back to you in
Yeah.
bushels.
Absolutely. Coach Mike, I know you
Awesome.
gave us your phone number earlier. Let us have that phone number again. How do folks get in touch with you?
925-323-1093. And all I need is a first and last name and an email address. First and last name and an email address
All
for a
right.
$10 gift certificate. Thank
Right
you.
on. We got you. And thank you, Coach Mike. Thanks for being the second
Thanks,
guest
Coach Mike.
on the first annual NRG Showcase. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mike.
it. Talk to you later.
Happy holidays, buddy.
Same to you.
All right, Mike Weiner, we are rocking and rolling with our guest here on the first annual NRG Showcase. This is a special edition of NRG this week. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Our outstanding production team is working in the background. I'd like to thank them for being here. Kelly Johnson, Ramisha Gordon, Oren Stewart, thank you all for being here and making this work well. To learn more about us, go to the leonthomasgroup.com. Mike, you've got 5 seconds to talk about football. After 5 seconds, they're going to turn your microphone off. Steelers, Ravens, what's the score? Sunday night. 5
Ravens
seconds.
Ravens 24, Steelers 21 in overtime. Tucker kicks it through, 53-yard field goal.
Cut him off. That's way more information than our hearts can handle already. Way more information than we can. You're talking overtime? Michelle, help me, please. Michelle Wilson's our next guest on the first annual NRG Showcase. Michelle, save me, please. This man's talking overtime. What? How you
No,
doing,
Michelle.
Michelle?
no. It's not about football. It's about
Thank you.
family time.
Yes, thank you. Whew, man,
So,
thank you,
Leon, I
Michelle.
got to tell you something. I am in MWW right now. What is that? It's called Michelle Wilson Withdrawal. We have not had NRG meetings for a week. I run 32 a week. Michelle is one about 28. I want to introduce Michelle to everybody out there. If it's the first time you've met her, I've been doing NRG 24 years. Michelle is simply the best. Tina Turner sang a song a few years ago, and she is an
Would you
articulate
like me to sing
networker.
it now?
She's amazing. What's that?
Did you say sing?
No, she's simply the best. The
I'm-
song by Tina Turner. Michelle can sing, though. I will give you that. She sang us Christmas and Hanukkah. She was singing "Oh Dreidel, Dreidel, Dreidel" a week ago for Hanukkah. But she is amazing. Very excited. We never could get Michelle here on the 8 a.m. Eastern because she's still in REM sleep at 7 a.m. Central, Leon. So, Michelle, it's great to have you here. Very excited to have you on the show, and it's the first annual NRG Showcase. So,
Michelle, it's
she's
great to
here,
have you
Leon.
with us. Thanks for being here,
Yep.
Michelle.
Well, absolutely. Thank you guys for inviting. Excuse me. Thank you guys for inviting me. Like Mike said, I'm Michelle Wilson. I am a utility and services concierge. So
Well, wait, no, don't jump into that yet. No, you can't avoid the first question.
Well, what's the first
The
question,
first
Leon?
question is, have you ever had a Maryland crab cake?
Yes, I have. We
And
were
where?
actually in Maryland a few months ago, and I think it was called B&G's.
G&M?
G&M.
B&M. There you
G&M.
go. I knew it was something like that.
Yes, you have had a Maryland crab cake.
And then we
You
went
count.
down the road to a little restaurant around the corner from there that had really good crab cakes too. So I had them twice in Maryland.
In one day?
Well, no, 2 days in a row.
Oh, 2 days. Whoa, the dog wanted some crab cake too. Dog's mad. Didn't bring home a little doggy bag. I understand. That's what's going on there.
They would have
I don't
never
know.
lasted that long. They were too good to leave on the plate.
They were good. So you went down to Olive Grove, right down the corner.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
it's
where you
called.
went. Yeah. All right. Now the crab cake conversation is over and we can't talk football. I'll back away. You and Mike go ahead and talk and tell everyone about what you do.
Absolutely. Well, thanks guys so much for having me on. I'm a utility and services concierge. What that means is those bills that you pay every day, I try and help you find a better rate and do it more effectively. I do not only residential, but I also do business accounts. I can help anyone, anywhere in all 50 states and 27 countries.
Awesome, Michelle. And you and I were talking about energy costs escalating right now. What is your source of enjoyment when you can help somebody save money on this bill, that bill? What is the satisfaction for you? People, there's a lot of things going on in the world today. You and I have had a lot of opportunity just to talk behind the scenes. And our goal is always to create a safe, warm, positive, uplifting, empowering atmosphere with every NRG meeting, whether there's 3 there or 23. But, what is the satisfaction for you when you can actually help someone and you see the joy in their eyes that you were able to give them a savings?
Well, what I love in that space is I'm impacting a whole family, not necessarily just an individual. I'm freeing up money that they could use for something else, whether it be to buy extra groceries, to go on a trip, to do those things that they want to do in their life, not that they have to do in their life, and just to bring joy to people.
No, that's awesome. You and I have been networking for a couple of years now on Zoom. What's your biggest satisfaction? You're my VP. You do a phenomenal job. What do you think is your biggest satisfaction networking? What does that mean to you?
Well, prior to all of the craziness in the world, I would go to 60 live networking events a month. That's anywhere between 5 to 7 a day. My biggest thing that I love to do is to connect people. So this platform has opened that up to be all over the globe. We are international. We do as many states as we possibly can at this point, and they're expanding all the time. Impacting people's quality of life by connecting them to people that can, one, help them in their business so they can grow, or to help them grow their business is what I love to do.
That's awesome. You know, over the weekend, actually a couple of days ago, Michelle, I got a referral from Sam from Canada, the 18-year-old who just joined, web developer. He referred me to someone in Utah, and I said to the guy, you know, membership is 500. We have no more meetings this year. If you want to wait to January to come to a meeting of 625. And he said to me, he's in 5 different groups right now. And I explained the pinball. He wanted to jump on a Zoom, which we did. He signed up right over the Zoom with me. I sent him 20 three-way intros. He met with several members already, and he's looking for digital marketers. And, you know, he heard something different. For you, if someone were to call you and say, Michelle, I'm in this group and that group and this one, and it's just not working, what is it about NRG? Give me 1 or 2 proprietary things. And it could be your mastermind that you do, Michelle, because you do a great job with that. But what are 1 or 2 things that why someone should jump into NRG? They've been in other groups. They're frustrated visibly. And we've seen that. And, you know, I had a 30-minute conversation with this guy, and my joy was he's already connecting with members around the country. I did it within a day. He goes, you do 20? I said, I do. He goes, that's amazing. And, you know, but what would you say is 1 or 2 proprietary things that people are going to get from NRG beside the magnificent Michelle Wilson?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that are important in the networking space. There is a lot of networking organizations out there that network very passively, whereas NRG networks like a verb. It's an action, it's a collaboration, it's a give, it's a lifting others, and you too shall find success. And that's kind of our mantra for what we do. And I think in that space, that empowers people to be more present in their business and connect with other people. I also love the fact that we give referrals of people we know. So it's a qualified referral, so to speak. I've done business with them. I know them. I trust them with my family and my resources, so that someone else, when they make that phone call, will also have that trust instilled in them. Not everybody makes that kind of connection when they're giving a referral, especially in groups. And again, all groups are wonderful that require you to give a referral. Some of those referrals are just to fill up a piece of paper so that they can stay active in their groups. Whereas we don't have that qualification. If you have a referral, you give your referral, whether you're brand new the first day or you've been in for 475 days, that referral is still valuable. And I think that we embrace that in a much more effective way, and people see a return on investment faster.
Awesome. I've got one more question for you, Michelle, and then we'll bring Leon back in. One of the things that I absolutely love and adore about you is your energy. You and I think, you know, we come together, we feed off each other, we have fun, we make it enjoyable for the members that are there. How do you keep that energy up? I know what I do each day. It might be putting some Rocky music on or whatever. How does Michelle Wilson get to that highest vibration level, which we know is love and gratitude, you know, and law of attraction? But, you know, that's what I've always admired about you. Even when you feel like crap, you went on a cruise, you got back, you were sick, you still came, you smiled. And, you know, that's one of the things you're one of the few people that always brings that A+ game. And I love that about you. It's such an intangible. But how does Michelle Wilson make sure that she's at the top of her game? And then we'll bring Leon back in. I've loved having you on today, but I want to finish with that question.
Well, that's a great question, Mike. I'm not quite sure how to answer it because, believe it or not, my energy is not caffeine fueled. And if I am caffeine fueled, it might be scary for everybody. I think more than anything, you hit the nail on the head. I think that comes from an inner place within each and every one of us. And every day I wake up, I decide to be grateful for that day. I decide that it's going to be the best day ever. I have a mantra that my mother gave me before she passed away that says, I can, I will, end of story. And that is what I try and embody in my everyday life and in my business, because no one can tell you you can't. And then everybody can tell you can't. Sorry about that. But the only person that has to believe that you can is you, and you will succeed.
One of the things that I totally love about you too, and I'm going to turn it to Leon, you make everybody better around you. And I won't talk football, Leon, but there was a guy named Ray Lewis who played for the Ravens who made everyone around him better. And again, Michelle, compliment to you. I'm looking forward to working with you in the new year. It is going to be an amazing year. You and I have got big plans. We're going to have Jeff on a little bit later to talk about that. But Leon, I'm going to turn it back to you. This is Michelle Wilson. She is one of the most amazing networkers I've seen in 24 years. So, Michelle, total pleasure to finally have you on at a decent time for you. So, Leon, take it away, buddy.
Michelle, thanks for being with us. Yes, at a decent time. Michelle, let's make sure folks know how to get in touch with you. Is there a phone number, email address that folks should have to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So my phone number is 815-347-6879. And my email address is the number 2, M is in Mary, S is in Sam, Wilson.acn@gmail.com.
All right, and let's have the phone number one more time, please. Once again on the phone.
815-347-6879. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Right on. Thank you, Michelle. And Michelle, before you go, when we were having the initial meetings about NRG this week, you said, guys, stop the football conversation because not everybody's a football fan. Not everybody cares about that. But listen, you were absolutely right. You were absolutely right. And so often, those of us that have certain allegiances and things that we like, we think everybody likes the same stuff that we do. And you helped us understand that not everybody cares about that. And so thank you for bringing that to the table. And we'll see you this weekend for the Steelers-Ravens game. But thanks, Michelle.
Michelle is our Ray Lewis. Barry Ingram.
Oh.
That's a quote from our Motto Mortgage guy, Michelle. Michelle is, and you are the Ray Lewis. You, and the thing about Ray, he made everybody better around him, and that is a gift from God. So, the gift of the new year, Leon. When you join NRG, you get Michelle Wilson.
Right
so
on. I love
it.
I love
One
it.
more thing, real quick. Just live with joy.
Right on. I like
Love
it. I like it. Live with
Love
joy. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thanks for being with us.
Michelle.
Mike, we are rocking on. This is the first annual. Again, I don't know if that's right. The first annual NRG Showcase. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. He's Mike Weiner, President and CEO of Network Referral Group. To learn more about Network Referral Group, go to nrg.online. If you're watching right now, drop us a line. Let us know. That's something as simple as, hey, I'm watching. Hi, Mike. Hi, Leon. Leon, I like crab cakes. Anything like that. Drop us a line. Let us know you are watching. Our next guest on the first annual NRG Showcase is Julie Lickman. Hey, Julie. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good. Julie, you know the first question. Have you had a Maryland crab cake?
As often as I can.
Oh, good. And where? Where do you get your Maryland crab cakes?
I like Brewer's Alley in Frederick, Maryland.
Brewer's Alley. Now that one I've never heard of. Brewer's Alley. May have to check that one out. We have a member of our production team, Dr. J, lives in Frederick. I'll have to check with him to see if he's ever heard of Brewer's Alley. But I'm glad you've had one, and You like Brewers Alley. Mike, you ever been to Brewers Alley in Frederick?
Leon, it's funny Julie mentioned that because Julie and I met for lunch there. In the summer. You can actually eat on the roof, and it's amazing. Brewers Alley is a great place in Frederick. I've been there a couple times. You can eat on the roof. The
How do you get
waitresses,
to the roof?
waiters,
How do you get to the roof?
you you,
I
you
gotta
go up
climb a
the step.
ladder outside and get to a roof. Why would I
No,
do that when I could eat on a patio or in the joint? Why would I climb a roof? I don't understand.
you don't have to be Spider-Man. No. You go up the steps and you come out there and you have lunch with Julie and I, Leon. Let's do it this summer when the weather's above -9 degrees. Let's do it.
We'll take the NRG show on the road and we'll do it from there. We'll do it from there.
Yeah,
Hey,
Brewers Alley.
Brewers
Yeah.
Alley. I'm gonna back away. You guys go ahead and have a cool conversation. I'll be back shortly.
I appreciate Jolie. So many people don't know who you are, and I'm gonna kind of for the viewing audience. Jolie is my virtual assistant. We met many years ago at a live networking meeting, which, God, Jolie, it seems like an eternity ago. But what is it about networking? I know you've got other clients beside NRG. We're your main client. I know I keep you very busy. What is it about networking for you behind the scenes? You're more of there's Michelle, who's like me out in front. You like to do things behind the scenes, but even with the showcase today, you coordinated it. You got people to come here at the times. I told you who was coming. What is your thrill with, supporting myself and Michelle and all the different initiatives of NRG that makes it really worthwhile for you?
Well, as a virtual assistant, my best advice for all of my clients, many of them are solopreneurs like you are, like I am. And my best tip is always be outsourcing. But in order to do that, you need to know the right people to outsource to, whether it's a virtual assistant, whether it's a bookkeeper, you need a CPA, you need a graphic designer, a web designer, all those different things that you need for your business. Those are the people that I look for through networking, so that if my clients come to me or anyone that I know through networking and says, I need a web developer, I need a graphic designer, I need a outsourced CFO, those aren't things that I know how to do myself, but I can connect you to those people. And that helps me add value to my services, to my clients, because they know that I have this network behind me. And that's something that not all virtual assistants can say or can offer to their clients. So I enjoy being a resource, and also finding out all of the fascinating things that people have turned into a career. Every time I go to a new networking event or a meeting or something like that, I meet somebody who's done something I've never heard of before, and that fascinates me. But also, even something that, of course, everyone's heard of, like a realtor or a mortgage broker. I find out why they chose that field, what they love about it, what's their own personal spin on it. Often people have pivoted in their careers, like I have, gone from one career to another, like you have. And so they bring some of that background with them, and that makes them unique. And so I just enjoy hearing different people's stories and who they are and why they do what they do.
You know what? And you use the word that I love to use. What's the spin? What's what's the focus? I feel the same way. When I met Doug Roy, I was like, wow, a virtual magician. I was blown away, and he's already performed at our extravaganza. He's out of Utah. We had lunch together, not crab cakes, but we had lunch together when he was in town. Michelle and I are out in the forefront. A lot of the members, they see us over and over, but we couldn't do it without you. Take a minute or two, talk about 2 or 3 things that you do behind the scenes, and maybe pick some different ones. I mean, they know that you load them up, you invoice, but maybe 1 or 2 other things that you do. And I know I'm getting you on the spot, but what are some of the things you do? Take 2 minutes, in supporting Michelle, myself, and all the NRG members. Because I know one thing about you, You want their experience to be a great one. You want it to be smooth and prosperous. But what are some of the things you do behind the scenes for our new members to, to hear that you're doing?
Sure. For our new members, I have created an orientation document. They read through it, and it gives them all the information they need to know about how to jump right in and participate. And I'm available for questions. The document started out as 1 page. I think we're now up to 5 pages because there's so many different ways to participate and benefit from NRG. And then I encourage people to set up the one-on-one with me to review the document and do that orientation. And at some point, I may do kind of a video walkthrough of it, but haven't done that yet. But I do the newsletter, which we put out on MailChimp, and I post things on social media, and monitor the Facebook group, and we have a LinkedIn group, and always happy to answer questions. Like someone says, "Oh, I met somebody named Bob at our meeting, but I don't remember which group Bob is in." Who's Bob? Help me find him on the roster. And I keep the roster and the schedule updated and keep them on the website, updated on the website for members to access, and update other pages on the website and other materials for the members. So that awesome. They can, make sure that anytime they see the roster, it's the most up to date and they can find the people that they're looking for. And then I have other clients I do internet research for. Had one client who wanted to have me find all of the women and minority owned farmers markets in PG County. So, it was just a matter of Googling, but that was something that they needed to do and to create a mailing list. And, it was worth their while to have me do that for them. I do other people's newsletters. I've started to do a lot more writing, editing, and proofreading for various people, including people who are looking to become self-published authors and get their books onto Amazon. I can format it and upload your book.
You're everywhere. You do it all. You do it all.
She does.
Yes. Or people might just want a 5-page lead magnet that they're just going to put on their website. And so it's more of a booklet than a book. I can work on those too, all different kinds of things. Right. And
Julie, let me ask you this. How do folks get in touch with you? What's the phone number, email address they should use to get in touch with you?
Okay. My phone is 240-367-5157. And if people want to get in touch with me regarding NRG, they can reach me at Julie, the number 4, NRG@gmail.com. If people outside of NRG want to get in touch with me, you can reach me at julie.lishman@outlook.com, and that's julie.lichtman@outlook.com.
And let us have the phone number one more time, because I know folks are going to want to get in touch with you. In fact, I just got a text message from someone that says, what is her contact info? So go ahead with the phone number again, please.
240-367-5157.
Right on. Thank you, Julie. Thank you for being...
I'm in Maryland, but my clients can be located anywhere in the U.S.
Right on. Thank you, Julie. Outstanding
You're
work
welcome.
that you do. Thank you for being here on the first annual NRG Showcase. Julie, just one final question. Is it okay to say first and annual together?
It's not annual until you've repeated it, so no.
Well, there you go, Mike.
She and I are going to talk after the event, because I'm assuming it's such a great success, Julie. Law of Attraction, second one will be December 2023, coming to a theater near you. The NRG Showcase. Leon, this could be a movie in the big theaters.
It could be. Big screen. I see it coming. Yeah, I see it coming. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah. Julie,
for
All
thanks
right,
for
I'll bring the
being here.
popcorn.
All
Thanks
right.
for all you do, Julie. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Folks, you're
Happy
watching
holidays.
the first NRG Showcase. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. To learn more about us, go to the leonthomasgroup.com. That's Mike Weiner, the president and CEO of Network Referral Group. To learn more about Mike and Network Referral Group, go to networkreferralgroup.com. I'm sorry, it's nrg.online. I was about to give your email address. That's nrg.online. Mike, I have a big announcement to make.
Yes.
Big announcement is that after I introduce and have a quick conversation with our next guest, I will be leaving the NRG Showcase to head to the Northeast Regional. What is it called? The Northeast Regional. What is it? What is the name of that place called? The Northeast Regional Recreation Center. To coach
Okay.
racquetball because I run a racquetball program, racquetballrevival.com, and I have kids that are going to be on the court today. Big racquetball extravaganza happening today. If you're in Baltimore and you want to learn how to play racquetball, show up between 2 and 5 at 7501. Man, I'm talking too fast. 7501 Oakley Road in Parkville at the Northeast Regional Recreation Center. Today's your day to give racquetball a try. But never fear, someone else from the Leon Thomas Group is here. Wow, that I'm a poet and didn't know it. I make it rhyme every time. Let's bring on our co-host for the second hour of the NRG Showcase, Oren Stewart. Hey, Oren, how you doing?
I'm doing
Hey,
well,
Oren.
man. You rhymed that so well. Yes, indeed. Hey,
yes.
Mike, how are you, sir?
Good to
Can
see
you all
you,
hear me?
Oren.
All right. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah.
for letting me join you guys.
So Oren will be taking over my groovy fun responsibilities. And again, I want to say thank you to Oren. Thank you, Oren, for everything that you do. Thank you to Ramisha Gordon for working with us today and everything that you do out of our future Midwest Regional Broadcast Center. Thank you. Thank you, Ramisha. Thank you, Kelly, for what you're doing at our Mid-Atlantic headquarters. And thank you, Oren, for holding down the Southwest Broadcast Center out of Texas. We appreciate it.
Indeed.
Let's bring on our next guest, the first NRG Showcase, Matt Balducci. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys? Good to see you
Doing well.
guys. How you doing,
Doing
Oren?
Hey,
How you
Matt.
doing,
Doing
Mike?
well, man. Pleasure.
Now,
Awesome.
Matt, you heard me say I need to roll out because I'm going to play racquetball. So we got two questions for you. Number
Perfect.
one, have you played racquetball before?
I have, and it was funny when I was sitting in the green room here or listening to what you were saying. So pickleball, I'm sure you've seen pickleball. It's
Take him
skyrocketed.
out of the show right
No.
now. He just mentioned that
No,
nasty
Leon Thomas.
P word. Get him out of here.
But I love racquetball. So racquetball. So my brother and I actually play. We play an annual tournament, and we have our own little racquetball, like trophy. And right now he's my older brother, and it's the only sport. If he ever watches this, is the only sport he could beat me in. And so he beat me last year. And
where do you play? I mean, are you from Maryland or where are you, Matt?
when I was in Maryland, we played over at LA Fitness, and then but we're in Chicago, so there's a couple actual racquetball actual racquetball facilities, and then almost all the gyms here have them. So all like
That's
DePaul University. But
Yeah.
I will say, if you haven't, I know pickleball might be a bad word for you, but I will say it's pretty fun. So I would try it out.
It is.
Oren, no. Pickleball's not fun. Stop.
Yes, indeed.
Stop. It is not. Let's change the subject real fast. So, Matt, first of all, we have to make sure you get introduced to Ramisha Gordon. She's going to be heading up our Midwest Broadcast Center here in a couple of weeks. So we'll make sure that, you guys connect because we never know. May want to get you on another show. But also, have you had a Maryland crab cake?
I mean, I lived in Maryland for almost a decade, and
So then yeah.
I've
Where's
had every single-
where's your favorite crab cake?
We were just out there for Christmas too. So we just got back yesterday from Maryland, so we were out there for about 5 days.
All
And so
right. Even
we,
okay.
we,
So
we
even though you
became
talk about pickleball, you can stay because you've had a Maryland crab cake. Hey, I've got to back out to head to Racquetball Revival to learn more about that. Go to racquetballrevival.com. Oren, thank you for taking over the second half of the show. Kelly, Ramisha, thank you both for what you're doing. Mike, thanks for having the confidence in us to give us an
Absolutely.
opportunity to make this role. Thank you, Matt. It's good meeting you. Leon, backing out. See you later, everybody. You guys go
Happy
ahead and have a
holidays,
great day.
Leon.
Thanks.
I'll be backing out
All
as
right.
well, and I'll come back on when you call for me.
All right. Thank you, Oren.
You
Appreciate it.
got it.
So,
All right.
Matt, you and I go back a couple of years now, and I know you were in Maryland, Chicago, Maryland, kind of gone back and forth. Tell everybody a little bit about what you do, because I've always been very intrigued with what you do. And my understanding is you help companies that are growing to scale and then eventually sell them. What does that process look like? How do you identify companies like that? I would assume a lot of it's referral based, which is what I do. And, you and I have always had a deep respect for each other, but how do you identify a company like that? What's kind of take 3-4 minutes? What's the process and how do you get them where they are up to be sold?
awesome. Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. And obviously, I mean, you and I have been
Sure.
talking for many years in reference to just business. And I'm sure everybody knows this, but Mike is just unbelievably, his heart is unbelievable in terms of what he wants to do with NRG and where he's going. And we've had some side conversations of how big he wants to take this. And it's super cool when you kind of get the inside scoop on the back end. And I think based off of what he's been able to achieve already, it's just a matter of time. And so I'm super excited, Mike, to see what you do. And like you said, I have a lot of respect for what you built. But yeah, so
Thank you, buddy.
you're welcome. Yeah, so I work with a lot of different types of businesses. So obviously with the NRG network, it's a majority. In terms of the demographic, it's a lot of solopreneurs and a lot of more so smaller business owners. And so I do executive coaching for smaller business owners, and what that looks like is being able just to have someone in their back pocket who has built a couple companies that they can come to for perspective and say, hey, here's what I want to do with my marketing. Here's what I want to do for my sales. Here's what I want to do for that, especially if they're not necessarily ready to have a huge organization yet, like a huge org chart. But what I primarily do is I take small businesses anywhere from $1 million to 10 million in revenue. And for 6 to 12 months, we work together. And essentially the easiest way I can explain it is I help them build a sustainable and scalable revenue generation part of their business, which is really a pretty word for saying I help them create sales, right? So I help them actually build out a sales part of their organization, whether that's with a B2B rep or bringing on a salesperson and helping it become where if they did choose to eventually sell, they can sell their business because it's systematized. And oftentimes what most owner operators don't know is if they ever do want to exit their business, the only way they're going to really sell their business is if it's something that someone can step into and have a plug and play system. And so so for me, so I look for those types of businesses, traditionally speaking, anywhere from $1 million to 10 million. Usually, honestly, under 5 million is my sweet spot. But what I found is owner operators wearing 82 hats. They do have an organization, they have people on their team, but they don't know how to play in their flow, and so a lot of times people think that I come on and help them create more money, but in reality, what I really do is help entrepreneurs get more time back in their business. And then the number one thing, if anybody's watching this, is if you do want to sell your business, build your business to sell from day one, even if you don't want to sell right now. And the reason for that is because if you do that, you're going to end up in 3 categories. Category number 1 is that you have an awesome business. You're working 20 hours a week. You're driving nice income off of it, and you don't want to sell it. And that's great. Option 2 is you do want to sell it. And now you have the ability to flip the business at a certain point and get out. And that's going to be anywhere from 2 to 6x your what's called your EBITDA. Okay. So that's, I don't want to get too deep into that for time, but that's basically your overall profit, including all expenditures. Or option 3 is that you now have a self-sustaining business that you eventually can either stay as a part owner on, you can have a family member take it over. There's so many different options, but what the number one mistake people make as business owners is they don't build their business to sell, because in the time when they're excited and they're happy and they're motivated, and there is going to be a time where you're not, right? There's going to be a time where maybe it's not as exciting. There's going to be a time where you wake up and you're like, man, I've been doing this for 6 years. I'm ready to get out of it. But you can't. At that time, you're stuck. You've kind of built yourself a trap. And so that's what I do, is I help people organize their business and help them scale out of build it to exit.
That's awesome. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's say a company got to 5 million a year and they came to you, or you were working with them, and they moved from 1 or 2 million to 5 million. What would be an average of what you would be able to help them sell it for? So if they got it to 5, is it twice as big, 3 times? Would it be 10 million, 15 million? I don't want to pigeonhole you in a number, but just for a range so people have an idea. If they want to make 15 million, where do they need to get the company to?
Yeah, so this is where I think a lot of times smaller business owners don't have the knowledge. It all depends. It's actually not your overall revenue. So sometimes people associate your business, Mike's, a little different because your revenue is traditionally very high profit margin. But most businesses, let's say that your business has a 20% margin in terms of profit margin, right? So let's say you're running, I don't know, $5 million business revenue, but you're profiting $1 million year one. That's a really successful business. So you're a millionaire. It's awesome. But you're not going to be able to sell the business for 3 times the revenue. You'll be able to sell the business for what's called an EBITDA, which is your profit, but also all owner expenses, all owner benefits. So like, say the car you drive for the business is under the business account. Say you're paying all of your cell phone bill, everything, all that gets equated into the overall profit. So that person would be able to sell that business probably for anywhere from 3 to 6 million. Okay. Even though it's 5 million, they would be able to sell for about 3 to 6, which again is a very strong sale of a small business. Like, that's a really great buyout. But now let's say you own a business that's profiting 50%. It just all comes down to that EBITDA number. And then the easiest way to do it in your head is anywhere from 3 to 6 times. There are some businesses that can get to 10 times, very rare. Most businesses are going to be anywhere in the 3 to 4 range typically. Sometimes they can fall if you're really trying to get out. You can fall to the 2 range. That's if you're it's like if you're just trying to get out of your business. But if you have a healthy, clean business that's functioning well, you can get 3 to 6 off your EBITDA. And so if someone wanted to make 15 million, though, they would be having to probably profit about $4 million, which, again, back to why you build your business to sell in the first place, is because if you're making 4 million working 20 hours a week, you may sit there and go, hey, and then you can eventually bring on somebody and you can make $3 million a year, but you can bring on a CEO that could run that organization for you, pay them really, really well. And now you have a legacy-based company where you don't have to get out of it. You can keep the profit.
Gotcha.
So
gotcha. I'm going to ask one more question, then we're going to bring Oren back in. This is kind of, you may not know the answer right away. You might have to sleep on it, but what is one industry that you've never worked with that intrigues the hell out of you and you would love the opportunity to work with them? What's, if you had your wish for 2023 and I was sitting in front of your ideal client industry, what's the one industry you've never worked with?
So the primary ones I work with are gym owners, home care agencies. So elderly, like folks that work with elderly. Those are I work with chiropractors, like anybody that's a small business owner that has 4 to 5, maybe 10 employees usually. And that's my sweet spot. But I would have to say, if I had, this is a good question, Mike. I never even thought of this because I'm so focused on who I work with that I never thought. I guess it would be cool to work in like a maybe like a CPG company, so like a consumer product, like packaged goods company. But those are massive. But that would probably be there. But yeah, I like working with who I work with because usually it's owner operator ran, and they're usually awesome. And so anybody that's an owner operator that owns a business, I love working with them and just having conversations with them. So
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so we're gonna have Lauren come back in. I think Matt, you know, we're going into India on the 12th. They're really big with manufacturing companies too. So that last question I asked you was kind of trying to figure out. I may be able to bring some folks. I don't know if you've done a lot of international, but definitely appreciate you being on. You and I go way back, and every conversation we have, I'm taking like notes. I mean, you're
Yes,
amazing
indeed.
at what you do, and if you're watching this and you're looking to get your business primed to sell, Matt is your guy. So, Oren, I'm going to turn it back over to you, and we'll continue on the first ever NRG annual showcase.
I'll tell you, Mike, I would have to agree with you. I'll tell you, look, I've been taking notes. So, Matt, you are the guy. I'll tell you something, man. We have to definitely see you on again to share some more. We've done a little research already, man, to see that you've done some TED Talks. So you've been out here doing some things, man, getting your voice heard. So please tell the audience and everyone that's tuning in, where can they reach you?
Awesome. Yeah, the simplest, I used to have a website, but I got rid of it. It wasn't necessary. So the easiest thing is connect with me on LinkedIn at Matt Balducci. Or you can just email me at mattbalducci@gmail.com. No spaces, just my name at gmail.com. Easiest way. Or just reach out to Mike if you have Mike's contact, and he'll throw you my number. More than happy to connect. I love talking to anybody that Mike is connected to. Like he's the man when it comes to connections. And so, but that would be the easiest way.
Okay, sounds good, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure
Happy
having
holidays,
you on.
Matt.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Happy holidays to you.
Yep. Happy New Year, guys.
Same to you.
Happy
Take
New
care,
Year, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, man. I tell you, this showcase is amazing, Mike. I mean, the rotation that you have moving.
Oren, it's like we've done it for 10 years,
I tell you,
I
it
mean,
doesn't feel like the
I've been
first
doing
one.
the networking for, yeah, I've been doing the networking for 24 years. It was, privileged to finally have Michelle on here and so forth. So do we have our next person in the green room?
We
The
sure
green room's
do. We
lighting
have
up today.
Steven Topel. Let's bring him on. How are you, sir?
Awesome.
I'm well. How is everybody?
We're doing well.
Doing
Pleasure to have you
great,
on.
Steve.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
So, Oren, are you going to ask Steve the question about crab cakes?
Yeah, I'll
He's
tell
a
you
local
something.
guy. I
So,
already know the answer to that.
I was going to say, look, I wasn't going to continue it because I'm not a crab cake guy. I haven't been in Maryland for a little while now.
Pappas.
So you're my guy because Pappas is definitely where I used to get mine when I used to eat them. Yes,
now,
indeed.
there may be a debate that Coco's may rival. I haven't had the Coco's yet, but I need to check it out.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe I'll change my position.
No, I'm with you. Pappas is the last place I've had one before we moved to Texas, man. So you are the man when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, just had it
Yes,
last
sir.
week. Matter of fact.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hadn't let me down yet.
Hey, and they won't. They will not. I tell you, they live up to their name and their continuous great food and great business, man.
It's amazing.
Yes,
They're that
really
consistent. They're that consistent.
Consistency is everything. Yes, indeed. So, Mike, I'll turn it over to you, and you all can continue on.
Absolutely. So, for those of you watching today, Steve and I go way back. We used to meet live in Owings Mills, Maryland, Timonium, Maryland. Steve is a very different type of entrepreneur. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's got several businesses. Steve, I'm thinking the crypto, but what do you want to talk about today? I'm assuming the crypto. You're actually in two different NRG groups representing two different industries, and that's one of the cool things about NRG, the flexibility to accommodate you. And you want to talk about crypto, or do you want to talk about one of the other companies today? It's your choice.
Crypto.
I've got questions.
I have been hot on crypto lately, and it's been the business that's been doing the best for me.
Awesome.
In NRG and elsewhere. So yeah, Novatech FX.
Well, let's do that then. So, Steve, if I was looking at what is trending in the country right now, probably cryptocurrency is one of the top things. A lot of great success stories. Some people have certain opinions, good or indifferent or whatever, but I know you're involved with a company for a couple of months now. You're getting a tremendous ROI on a weekly basis. For those folks that have had maybe not the best experience, what are maybe some proprietary things about what you're doing now with your company that they could feel comfortable and safe and inviting that they should set up a Zoom and talk with you. So, what are maybe 2 or 3 things that make it very inviting to work with you and the company you're working with in the crypto space?
Okay. Well, number one, I would have to say that I've only been in this platform of investing now for not quite 5 months, but in those 5 months, my ROI has been $13,000. I've been averaging between $700 and $800 a week. So it is a company, number two, that not only gives a ROI every week that it makes money, and it has done that now for 3.5 years. But the 3.5 years is really what is so amazing, that the crypto, not only cryptocurrency, but foreign exchange is what the expert traders and the artificial intelligence invest conservatively for us. Everybody that's invested money is just pulled into one large pool, and the company invests 7 days of the week. And every Friday, if they make money, we get a return on our investment weekly that shows up in our account, and we can withdraw that or we can add that to that amount that we're investing, compound week after week after week. And really, after several months or a year or more, the compounding can really produce some miraculously high numbers as far as what we started with. So it really is something great for somebody that wants a retirement fund or wants a weekly income, and they're really frustrated with what the bank account is giving in interest, and really very frustrated with their 401ks and retirement accounts that really all year have just been going downhill. So this is something that, while your other investments are not producing, we can't guarantee it, but we can show from our track record that every Friday, if you invest in Novatech FX, you're going to be very happy.
Great. I love your answer. You know, a lot of people think they need to invest thousands and thousands of dollars. If someone were to come to you, and we're right through the holidays now, everybody spent all their money on Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas. If someone were to come to you for the new year, what is the minimum dollar amount that someone could invest? And is it easy to add additional increments in the future?
You can start with as low as 100. We recommend 500. And yes, you
Okay.
can add at any time that you want, and you can withdraw at any time you want. Your main trading account principal is never held for any period of time, like some of the stock funds where you have to really get locked in for 3 years, 5 years to get a good return. So yes, um, it's really averages around 12% in that range per month. So obviously, if you put 500 in, you're not going to be getting much more than 60 per month in that range, or 15 per week. But you can pretty much judge what your weekly ROI would be by what you put in and utilizing that 12%. And I like to say, off of 1,000, if you put that in, then you're going to get 120 for the first month. And if you compound it and roll it back in, obviously every week it's going to keep going up.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to bring Oren back in. One more question for you. You and I used to meet live, and we've talked about this. You would drive to meetings, all that stuff. You've been able to jump on a lot of Zooms. I think you've really utilized the NRG system well. I love having you on there. I learn from you every single time. Someone is brand new to networking, or someone's been driving around for years. What have you seen the big advantage to Zoom? And I've not asked anyone this yet today, but I think you're the perfect person to ask this question. What's the advantage of Zoom for someone if they want to minimize time and drive and things? And I'm kind of leading you there a little bit, but what has been the big benefit for you as a business owner trying to get out 3 different businesses by utilizing Zoom and not being in the car all the time?
I mean, Zoom has been amazing. When we used to meet over in Towson at the bank, obviously you had to drive there. If you wanted to meet new people, you had to go to Columbia or Ellicott City or Frederick or wherever the other meetings were. I don't even remember back then if we were really opened up that we could just call, everybody that was in Maryland. It seemed like, I think we were pretty much meeting directly with people and getting referrals. That was the only way. Now that Zoom's available and NRG has gotten into so many different parts of the country, every day that I could go on Zoom and I could be introducing any one of my side businesses to people in Texas and people in California, people now in Canada, Florida. So it's not only opened up for me to generate more referrals and more business, but you meet people that can help you so much because you get so much information from financial people and insurance people. I signed up with a Edward Jones financial advisor. I think he's in Michigan, because he went over my portfolio for a 401k and showed me how he could do better. I actually was able to even meet somebody in Canada who turned me on to Novatech FX and allowed me to get into this wonderful business and investment platform where I wouldn't had $13,000 on the plus side if it wasn't for NRG and being able to Zoom and meet people around the country. So it's just been a blessing.
For those of you watching, did you hear what Steve just said? The person that introduced him this was from Canada. That would never have happened when we were meeting live. So COVID, Warren, I've been accused of taking lemons and making lemonade.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done with NRG. And, the last 2.5, 3 years since COVID, we've had more success. And, people like Steve that are very hardworking, conscientious, honest businessmen,
Yeah.
they've been able to explode through the NRG system. And Steve's a great guy. We won't talk football in front, but he and I do when we get a few stolen moments before anybody's on the Zoom. So,
Go Ravens.
Warren, I'm going to turn it back to you. But Steve, it was great having you on. I definitely wanted you on the showcase, and glad to have you here. So, Warren, take it away.
Yes, indeed. I tell you, resilience is what comes to mind when you think about, coming out of COVID and being able to realize the pandemic, I'll say, of how we have to be able to be, flexible. And clearly what you're speaking about that has taken NRG to the next level has happened. So kudos to you, gentlemen. Steve, if you could give us your information so people can know how to reach you.
Okay. Well, the best way is my phone,
Okay.
either leaving a message or texting 410-804-7969, 410-804-7969, or email if people prefer. It's my full name, and I do spell Stephen with a PH.
Okay.
So it's Stephen. My last name is spelled T like Tom, O, P like Peter, E-L. So it's Stephen Topel at yahoo.com.
I tell you, man, I do the same thing. I keep it real simple. My first name, last name at Yahoo, same way, so that I do not forget it. Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir. Yep,
Yes,
that'll
sir.
do
Yeah.
it.
Indeed, man.
Yes,
So it's been a pleasure having you on. We really
wonderful
appreciate
being
it.
here. I thank you for
Thanks,
the opportunity.
Steve, and Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New
All
Year
right,
to
Happy
you.
New Year, everybody. Take care.
All right,
Stay
take
well.
care.
Take care. Thanks, buddy.
Yes.
I
So
think we have our next person, Oren.
it looks like it. Let's bring Ronnie on. Yes, indeed. Ronnie, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How y'all gentlemen doing today?
We're doing well, man.
Awesome,
Pleasure
Ronnie.
having you on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir. So, Mike.
So, I'll take it away. So I'm going to tell you, Oren, Ronnie, before COVID, I had triple bypass March of 2020.
Wow.
And Ronnie and I discovered something when he came to the hospital at Johns Hopkins, where they basically saved my life.
Yeah.
Ronnie and I realized we were not the Bee Gees
Yeah.
because we were singing some disco. And Ronnie and I are like two brothers from another mother. In fact, Leon interviewed us together about that crazy topic, racism. And Ronnie and I don't see color. We see buddies and friends. And, we've always been like that. And when I met Ronnie in Columbia at the Hilton, he was so shy. I was like, I don't know how this guy's going to network. And we went over and talked after the meetings were live.
Yeah.
So I would physically have to pull them over somewhere, find out what they liked about the meeting. And Ronnie and I, we developed a friendship, a brotherhood. We can call each other about anything. We talk about any topic. And really excited to have Ronnie on today. So, or I'll ask Ronnie a couple questions. I'll bring you back and we'll go from there. But, Ronnie, I appreciate you, brother. You've always been there for me. And, it was amazing. We went from me in the hospital to Zoom. and you've been a big part of NRG. You said to me, it's going to grow. Why not go everywhere, Mike? You can do it. So, Ronnie, talk a little bit about what you do. I know you have an amazing service. You're helping homeowners. You work with mortgage and real estate, but take 2 or 3 minutes, kind of a big, picture overview of what you do for the viewing audience and for those that are going to watch this in 3 months, 6 months, 3 years. So I'm going to turn it over to you, buddy.
Oh, thank you. I definitely appreciate it, Mikey. Kudos to you. Like I said, you have definitely helped me over the years, NRG, the NRG family. So definitely appreciate you and the NRG family. Again, my name is Ronnie Francois, the credit hero. I'm also a financial literacy advocate. Basically, I educate people on credit and financial literacy. But there's over 20 million people that do what I do. I focus more on the educational aspect because when I realized the school system wasn't doing their job, I took it upon myself to study the credit law, consumer law, start writing books, did a podcast. I was on TV once. I'm about to be on a documentary series called Making of an Entrepreneur. Again, like Mike mentioned, when I first started NRG years ago, I was a shy, kind of back of room type of guy. But because of the exposure, just being connected with great people like Mike, a lot of amazing people in NRG now, I'm not at the very top yet, but I can definitely see myself getting there because I stay connected, stay consistent with great people like Mike and a lot of NRG family.
Ronnie, I was talking to Leon about the NRG Showcase maybe being a big movie. I could see you doing the life of Ronnie Francois, and it would be in the movie theater, right after Tom Cruise with whatever he's doing. But now, man, you have, I tell you what, for those that are watching, I have watched Ronnie, and he was quiet and he was introverted. And he'll tell you his arms were folded. He was going to sneak out the meeting, go in the bathroom, and just not come back. And I mean, the personal development of you has been astounding. Talk a little bit about the educational piece. You are now working with corporations to instill credit repair, whether it's the business owner, HR. Take 2 or 3 minutes, talk about that. And then I'm going to have a networking question for you, and then we'll bring Oren back. But talk about your educational piece for companies. What are things you're offering business owners out there?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, so I do work with business owners and also work with nonprofit educational educators and also teachers too. Basically, I make my ebooks available to them practically for free because I feel like financial literacy is something that impacts everybody. Don't matter your size, your height, your weight, your color, it impacts all of us. So that's why I make it available to like a lot of business owners, corporation, because that can be employee incentive. Just think about like, if your credit is jacked up, is messed up, when you go to work, it's kind of hard to focus on work. But what if your employer could give you something added benefit, added value, maybe some additional resources that can help you get on the path to having good credit, achieving financial literacy? So that can be like a bonus right there. And again, it's practically free. Again, I work with business owners, nonprofits, school teachers, educators. I want to work with everybody because again, I might be known as the credit hero, but what if you had a credit hero in your house, 2 credit heroes, 3 credit heroes? What if we had like a community of credit heroes? We can make a big positive impact throughout the United States. So that's why I'm just so fascinated about just making these resources available to people practically for free because it's something that can impact everybody.
I could see you with a what's the word I'm looking for? A cape with a big C on the back of it, like a superhero. Because you know what? You are a modern day superhero. I mean, we got Batman and Superman and Flash, but you are physically going in and helping people get their credit to where they can buy a home. What's the American dream? Buying a home. So what has NRG done for you? I mean, I want to talk about the personal development. You've already alluded to it, but somebody's out there, they were working in a corporation. A lot of people have left corporate America now, started their own business. Joe Smith, and whether he's in Boston, Massachusetts, or New York, or India, we're going into India on the 12th. What can you tell somebody brand new to running their own business that NRG is going to be able to help them come out of their shell We've got a lady named Rapali. She's helping me with New York. But I've seen you I'm so proud of what you've done. And you and I, we got to get together for a meal soon. It's long overdue. But what has NRG personally helped you come out of your shell and develop? And when that question, I'll bring Oren back in anytime. But if you would answer that for everybody, I think that would be really impactful for the viewing audience today and in the future.
So of course, I got a lot of NRG, but I guess the biggest thing for me is just being able to stay connected with so many talented, gifted, amazing individuals. Because one thing about me, I'm human, so sometimes I tend to get a little lazy, believe it or not. But when you connect with great people, it's just something about that positive transfer, positive energy. It just gets me going. It gets my soul going. It gets me want to do more. It gets me want to help more. But then again, but it's also important too. You might be connected with great people, but if you're not willing to put in the work, it's not going to be enough to get there. So at some point, you do have to put in the work, because I think the great book says faith without works is dead. So yes, NRG have the people, has the resources, has everything that you need, but you do have to come with a mindset that, look, I'm gonna have to put in something. Because when I started NRG, when I met Mike, like he said, I was sitting at the table, my arms was crossed, I was gonna go to the bathroom, I was gonna go to the car, I wasn't gonna come back, but I felt the good vibe, the good energy. And after talking to him, I said, look, man, I don't know how to network like you do, you know what I mean? But, I'm going to roll my sleeve up. I'm going to do whatever it takes. So I had that mindset from the beginning. NRG just helped. I already had the gift in me. It just kind of helped bring it out of me. So that's why it's important to stay connected with great people.
So for those of you watching this, really listen to Ronnie. You may need to play it back again. But, Ronnie, I saw Tony Robbins. He's got an infomercial. It's on Facebook all the time. And he talks about creating massive action. And then some people go, well, I don't know, I'm not ready. And he goes, it doesn't matter if you're ready or not. Create massive action. You can tweak it along the way, but that's one of the ways. And I tell you what, in 2023, I'm planning on, you guys know who I am. I'm going to plan on really taking law of attraction to the next level, because I want to impact the world. The news out there is negative. Mm-hmm. CNN stands for constant negative news. You're not getting a lot. You want to be upbeat. You want to be positive. And that's, this Leon Thomas show, Oren's been amazing. And for NRG and Ronnie, I really appreciate you being here. Always motivational to me, and happy holidays to you. We'll get together and grab some food here probably at the beginning of the year. But thank you so much for being here. And I know if Oren's got a question for you or a comment.
So yeah, I just want to say, yep, I apologize, Mike. Yeah, no problem, man. Just want to say to you, Ronnie, man, continue doing what you're doing, man. You're doing some amazing things. I was thinking about it as the two of you were talking, that so much of life is to be played out as we go along. It's like learning on the job. Many times people think that you have to put a plan in place in its totality before you start. But then sometimes we have to have the faith, as you said, faith without works is dead. We have to put one foot in front of the other, man. So the information and education that you're bringing to the people that you're doing, I so salute that, man. I think I'm with Mike on that. To what you're doing clearly is changing lives in ways that people probably never envisioned before meeting you, man. So salute to you. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And it's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. One last thing, man.
Thanks, Ronnie. Happy holidays, buddy. Happy New Year.
Happy holidays to you. What way can people contact you, your information?
They can go to my website, RonnieFrancois.com, RONYFRANCOIS. Or they can call me on my phone, 443-738-5529, 443-738-5529. And if all of that fails, they just forgot everything I said, I'm Googleable. Ronnie Francois, the credit hero.
I love it. I'm Googleable. I love it, man.
Googleable.
Yes, indeed.
Googleable.
Yes,
I love
indeed.
it too.
Google me, as they say. Indeed. Have a happy New Year, man, and take care. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year, buddy.
All right.
Thanks.
It's going good. I tell you, Mike, you're doing an amazing thing with this. You're rocking and rolling, man. This is something that you're going to have to continue to do, man, because people are getting so much from this, and it's such needed, for what it is when it comes to networking.
You know what? People need to be edified for what they do. So many people work for someone, or they run their own business, and they're not applauded. The future of America and international is the small to mid-sized business owner. and we need to build each other up and not tear each other down.
You're right.
I know one color, and we're all on the same team, and there's no religious difference. There's no background. The only difference, maybe Raven and Steeler fans, and we're in Pittsburgh, so, and I'm respectful of all the Pittsburgh members, and they're respectful of me. And if Lamar does his thing, then they'll have to deal with it. So
you say time will tell,
note,
right? Yes, indeed, man. Time will tell. So I'll tell you something, man. We have our next guest here. Mr. Jeff Klein is here. So ready to bring him on when you are.
I am ready for Jeff. We got a big announcement too with
indeed.
Jeff.
Jeff, how are you, sir? There we go. We got it there. We apologize. How are you, Jeff? Can you hear us?
I'm great. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you as well.
Jeff,
so I'm going to step back and let the two of you all talk.
Jeff, I heard you were so excited. You were like the first one here, but I appreciate you being here. And for those of you that don't know Jeff, we become very good friends through Michelle Wilson, my VP. Jeff is in the Dallas group. He's got a co-op for speakers. It's unbelievable. But Jeff is our new NRG Director of Training. And I'm going to have Jeff talk a little bit about what he does first. Then we're going to talk about that. One of the biggest things of the year coming up is we are bringing on so many new members, nationwide, international, and Jeff's got a phenomenal background. He understands the NRG pinball system, which is how we do referrals. So, Jeff, take 2 or 3 minutes, talk about what you do, your speaker co-op, and if someone wants to get a hold of you, how they can get a hold of you. But let's start there, kind of a big picture overview on what you've been doing. And I think you've been doing this since 01, like myself, if I'm correct.
You bet. Yeah, I came out of movie and TV production and went into advertising and then became a speaker. As a speaker, my main topic was networking. I was teaching the elevator pitch and, came to, through learning and through doing and speaking about the elevator pitch 250 times over a 3-year period, developed a way to turn a 20-minute talk into clients and leads. So I teach networking and I teach speaking to help business people grow their business through the words they use. So one of the things that we decided recently was we were going to help NRG members with pinball. And we were launching a new program called Pinball Express, where twice a month we're going to have Zoom classes where we're going to get together and help people with their pinball talks, with their pinball presentations, so they get more referrals from NRG.
You know, Jeff, since we decided on this about a week and a half ago, I have mentioned this to many of the groups. They love it. They absolutely love it because, my bandwidth is about gone as far as it can go. I'm running about 32 Zooms a week. And, with all the new members that we're onboarding, that myself and Julie and Michelle on board, we need to get them up and running quickly. And the pinball system for the last 24 years has proven it works. And it's very consistent with what you've been teaching over the years. I know Julie and Michelle have been through your classes. Julie was edifying you yesterday big time, how much she has learned. And I know that when a coach joins NRG and they want to get on the speaking circuit, I refer them to you, and then you're able to work with them, get them up and running very quickly. And you've done that for several referrals that I've sent to you. What is your biggest satisfaction when you help someone get on your speaking circuit? What is your biggest satisfaction being able to help them expand?
My light bulb moment, Mike, is seeing the light bulb go on over somebody's head, whether they're in an audience as when I'm the speaker or whether they're across the internet in a Zoom class. When I see their eyes light up and that light bulb come on for them when we're talking about something and it clicks and they get it. That's really why I do what I do, is to be able to see people really click with the education that I offer.
Awesome. And I'm going to bring Oren back in on this last question, but as far as what you're going to be doing with Pinball Express, for those of you watching here, whether it's today, tomorrow, 3 months, 3 years, it's another part of NRG and another value proposition. And you're going to get to be taught by one of the best out there in Jeff Klein. He's become a good friend of mine. He's in the Texas area. Jeff, what are two benefits that the NRG members are going to
Go
walk away
Cowboys.
when they've gone through the training with you? What are two benefits they're going to get from you that you're going to bring them back to me with, I know educated, but what are maybe two of the benefits you believe you'll be able to bring to the all of NRG, really?
You bet, Mike. So what I believe they're going to be able to, number one, give more referrals, which is huge. And they'll be able to benefit more from the referrals they get, because we'll talk to them about how to meet with the people and turn a referral in a prospective.
It's a really good point, because I learned a long time ago, the fortune is in the follow-up. And if you get all the referrals at NRG, I've seen it before where people get referrals and they don't follow up. So it's pretty much for naught.
You guys hearing me okay?
Warren, I'm gonna turn Jeff back over to you, but we are pumped about 2023. I'm gonna talk about one more new thing we're doing when we find the time, but this thing with Jeff is going to be it's a deal maker for NRG, and it's something all the members are going to get value. So, Warren, I will turn it back over to you.
All right, sounds good. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. I tell you, man, we're neighbors, so to speak. I'm down here in the Dallas area as well, in Texas. I'm a new transplant, as they say, man. But to what you've shared with us today is great information, and we really appreciate it. Could you share with us your information of where people can reach you?
You bet. I put a link in the chat for my program where do a 2-hour class to teach the elevator pitch, the full pitch. Okay. I put that in the chat. It's tiny.cc/30webinar, 30 webinar. And if they use the promo code NRG, they'll save an extra $50 on the class. You can reach me at jeffkleinspeaker.com. and Jeff at jeffkleinspeaker.com and speakercoop.com as well. So
gotcha. Thank you so much, man. It's been a pleasure having you on today. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, Jeff. Happy New Year. Happy holidays, brother. Thank you.
I tell you, man, it's going well. It's continuing to roll out well.
That's going to be really big. The other thing, really quick, 30 seconds or less. Every NRG meeting that people come to on Zoom, we're going to have a motivational or inspirational quote in the waiting room. That's something Julie, Michelle, and I are working on.
Wow.
So the folks that are missing the meetings, not only are they missing the pinball and the referrals, they're going to miss a motivational quote. So figure we run about 50 meetings a year. That's 50 quotes. And I'm going to let them sit in the waiting room for a minute or two before I let them in, Orrin. And I think that's going to be, I have one quote. Turn off the TV, turn on your dreams. Mike Weiner quote 2022. Turn off the TV, turn on your dreams. That's for me. And we got the Zig Ziglar and everybody else. So
I have to write that one down, man. I'll have to write that one down, because when the two of you all were
Mike
talking,
Weiner one. There you go.
I love it. You were talking about the follow through and everything, and the follow up. I was thinking about in basketball. You miss all of the shots that you don't take.
It sounds like Michael Jordan, my favorite basketball player.
You and me both,
time.
man. You and me both. Yes,
Love
indeed. Him. This is great, man. So we have our next guest here, Mr. Z. We can bring him on. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay, my good man. How are you both, gentlemen?
Doing well.
Doing awesome.
Pleasure to have you.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. So I'm going to step back and let the two of you all chat.
Thank you, Orrin. So, hey, Z, I've been in Z withdrawal. We've had no meetings for a week, so it's been interesting. But for those of you that don't know Z, we affectionately call him Dr. Z. He is amazing. He is a member of our New York City NRG group, our San Francisco group. He's one of my ambassadors. He's referred a ton of folks to NRG. Z, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I know you've been on with me once before, but this is the first annual NRG Showcase, and it wouldn't be a showcase without you here. The nicest man in the world, Dr. Z. So, first question. I know you do websites, you really focus on the nonprofits, charities, the veterans, folks in the disabilities arena. What is it for you that really gets you adrenaline rush when you help someone like that? It's in your sweet spot. What is it for Dr. Z, the doctor of Scientology? I just made that up. Web Scientology, that really lights it up for Dr. Z.
Well, I want to start off by saying thank you very much, Mike the Maverick, who is in fact the nicest guy of NRG. And what really gets my excitement going for helping nonprofits with their websites is first and foremost, I like to give the opportunity for my website visitors the control that they can have to making updates to their own website. And I can't tell you how many times that I've heard stories of individuals that relied on their web developer, digital marketer, or their friends of a mechanic's nephews, whatever, only to find out that they didn't have access to their own website. So knowing that I can make a difference in knowing, hey, all because you have a website doesn't mean you have to go to your web developer, designer, or someone else to register the domain name for you. But why nonprofits? Well, I have my experience working with B2Bs, doctors, attorneys, contractors. It's great to make a profit. You're making a profit. I can make a profit. Whoop-de-doo. But not everyone can make a difference like nonprofits can. Whether it's helping our ignored veterans that are sleeping in alleyways where they should be sleeping in hotels tax funded by our citizens, survivors of human trafficking. There is a thing called human trafficking where little boys and girls are being lured into vans doing unspeakable things, and it's just a shame that the media doesn't talk about it. Our planet is slowly dying because of pollution, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say names, but there are many causes by certain companies that are just sweeping it under the forest and pretending nothing is happening. And more importantly, uh, animal poaching. There is a thing in the wildlife where people are shooting animals or buying animals from the black market and putting them in electric fences. And why do they kill these endangered species? It's just for them to say, "Hey, I'm the one that got the last hunt. I'm the big person with the big gun." And it needs to stop. So why nonprofits? In summary, my chances of being alive is 1 to 10 trillion. So I may as well make the best in making Z World a better place. And what better way to connect with people all over Z World with NRG? Because NRG has taught me the value of connecting people, and not just connecting people, but also, like you say, Mike the Maverick, you can always get what you want out of life. You can always get what you want out of life if you just help enough other people. And I also like to add, if people like you, like everybody loves you, Mike, they're willing to listen to what you have to say. But if they trust you, you're guaranteed to do business with that person and make a difference. So that's my why, or Z in that
Nah,
matter.
that you know what that was. If you guys are watching this out there, I would rewind the tape. I mean, that was
Thank you.
amazing. And some of these challenges out there, they're not being talked about. And there's a way that you can impact these type of people. So, kudos to you for what you're doing. I want to talk about
Thank
something
you.
with you next. I've got two more things. Your manners are at the best I've ever seen, and I remember you came to me through Julie, my virtual assistant, and I thank her all the time. I'm like, when we talk about the organization, and where I'm assuming it's your parents, but please, the thank you, the respect, everything you do is how I was trained by my mom and dad. My mom's still alive at 85. My dad, unfortunately, been gone since 99. But I know there's two people with me every day, God and my dad, and I can feel his presence. I can feel him in the room on our first NRG showcase, and I donated the last extravaganza to him. But Where did you learn these things? These are critical skills that, and I'm not even saying the new, I know you're a millennial. Sometimes the millennials get a bad rap. I've seen people older than me and they're late. There you go, texting. I text more than you. I've seen people in their 60s and 70s without manners. The cutting someone off on the road. I learned from Raphael Law of Attraction. Give them love. Maybe they're rushing to a hospital. Maybe they're not, but it doesn't matter. It's our perception of what's happening, and we can't react to. We can't. It's how we react to things. Things are going to happen. Good, indifferent, bad. I've been studying law of attraction at a unbelievable pace. And I know 2023, I'm claiming it now, it's going to be the year of manifestation for you, for Michelle, for Julie, for me, for everyone who comes in NRG. But where did you learn these things? Was it your parents? Was it education? Was it just good old common sense? Because common sense ain't so common, and I know ain't a word, but I'm using it here for impact. Where did you get these, and what do you say to those folks out there, whether they're 20 years old or 80 years old? And I just signed up an 18-year-old in Canada who's a web developer, and he just referred me to someone in Utah. And the guy joined the meeting because I went through and talked to him. But how do you get this message across? We need to impact the world with manners. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And you and I get that. What can you or I or Joe who's watching this or Mary, what can we do to make a difference?
Well,
Big question.
It's a great question coming from the nicest guy of NRG asking some New Yorker how to be nice. So I'll do my best to, from the Northeast coast. Well, like you said, treat others how you want to be treated. And I know what it's like to work in corporate. To them, you're just a cog in the machine. And I always promised myself, if I ever get to the level of some success, I guess you could say, I promised myself that I would never treat anyone less than me or above me, because we're all working together to create a common goal to make the world a better place. And more importantly, surround yourself with positive people. And NRG is just one of those places where they treat you like a human being than just, okay, how much have you made this month? We need you to sign this contract. Just to let you know that your contract's up for renewal. And with our relationship, Mike the Maverick, I don't consider you a friend, to be quite honest. You're like a brother from another mother. And we've had our moments, and I'm going to share another moment right now. You talked about the extravaganza, and it's been better and better and better and better. But heart to heart, and I'll say this publicly in front of everybody here, I think it was wonderful for what you did for your dedication of your father, and your boys would be very proud of you to see the father that you are now, and the father and your father would be proud to see what you've become, making such an impact towards everybody here on a worldwide basis. I think it was very poetic of you to dedicate that extravaganza towards that day for your father, and it was very meaningful, and I take it to heart. And like they say, honor thy father, and you did it, Mike the Maverick. And my only complaint about the extravaganza, ready to hear this? I don't think it's long enough. I mean, even though it's 4 hours, but quite frankly, it feels like 19 to 20 minutes. And maybe we'll have our Johnny Carson day and have it for 23 to 27 hours. Who knows?
Do you remember the Jerry Lewis muscular dystrophy telethon? It used to go 24 hours Labor Day every year.
Wow.
So I used to watch that as a kid. I mean, he passed away a few years ago, but his legacy will live on forever. And I appreciate the kind words. And,
Thank you.
My folks always instill work hard, be honest, be ethical, treat people the way you want to be treated, treat everyone with respect, treat them good until they give you a reason not to. And I mean, I've been thoroughly blessed to have Michelle and Julie and you, and NRG has been amazing. All right, we're gonna wrap up with this. I'm gonna bring Oren back in. You've hit it on so many different levels.
Thank you.
I want you to take the weekly meeting that we do every single week, 50 weeks out of 52 a year. What has that meant for your business? We got new folks out here. thousands will watch you over time. They will watch it today. They will watch you tomorrow. They will see it in 2030. They will see it in 2230. They will see it when we've long gone. And, it's just the gravesite of Z and Mike. We're gone. We're up in heaven watching football with our parents. What has the weekly meeting done for your business in NRG? Because so many people are like, I can't attend the weekly meeting. I've been in another group, not to mention any names because I don't do that. And I got nothing in 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Why would they stay that long is always my question. But what has the weekly meeting been for you as far as impacting your business? And talk about some of the business alliances. We're going to take 3 minutes, wrap that up, and then we'll bring Oren back in. But I'd love you to share for the viewing audience, from an educational standpoint, how's it impacted Dr. Z?
Thank you for asking, Mike the Maverick. And I do want to mention that NRG, to me, it's not just the typical networking group where it's all about sales and hoping to get the next client. This has been the first networking organization that's been like a business class with class. If there's a problem, someone will say, hey, have you tried this with your momentum classes? And you always know the first law of physics is inertia. What stays in motion stays in motion. Probably butchering it, but the point is join the momentum classes, the mastermind classes. And I got to give a big shout out to Gab Waterman from Gab Talks, The Art of Following Up. And like you said previously, the fortune is always in the follow-up. And what's given me, what's great about NRG is that this group will take you closer to your goals, but you got to keep going. And John C. Maxwell once said, motivation will get you started, but consistency is what gets you farther. And to me, NRG, it's a ripple effect towards success. So even if you don't see the results, you got to see it first. And I believe Walt Disney said this, in order to make your dreams come true, you got to have a dream. And Mike the Maverick, you made my dream come true because I'm swimming in my blue ocean full of my our nonprofit contacts, thanks to you and for being here. It's just law of attraction, the law of cause and effect. What you do, there is, I don't want to say consequences. If there is a cause, there is an effect. So you made that happen. And the one thing I'd like to tell everyone here who are still on the fence of joining NRG, it's the place to be, and it's like a family. Thank you very much, and you both are wonderful, and thank you for having me here.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate you, Dr. Z. And Oren, this is one of my favorite people. Forget, way past members. And I remember I said to Z, we're good friends. And he goes, no, we're not. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? He goes, we're not friends. We're brothers from another mother. So,
yes, indeed.
I mean, if he's decades younger with a lot more hair, but at 58, I still got the hair. I mean, I can't run sideways like Ray Lewis, but I can bring the hair. I can bring my hair effect. But Z, it's been a pleasure. I wrote down the law of inertia because I haven't heard that since MTV came out in the 80s. I mean, it's been a long time. So appreciate you being here. Oren, anything you want to add for Dr. Z?
I do, man. And I tell you, I was trying to figure out to make sure, are you Mr. Z, Dr. Z? We have to, you are Dr. Z, sir. You have such an amazing energy and spirit, man, that clearly with the team that you all have, I just got to chill as I was even thinking about it, man, that just to listen to the two of you just now speak, that clearly the continuation of what you guys do and with the rest of the team, this new year is going to be an amazing year. Law of attraction, to what you were speaking to, Mike, is gonna take hold and skyrocket in the new year. So, Dr. Z, please, sir, if you could share with us information that if anybody wants to reach out to you and for you to give them some more of that just inspiring knowledge that you have, man, how can they reach you?
Thank you, man. I really admire your energy and, of course, Mike the Maverick's NRG. And you can contact me with my website at www, because I'm a 90s kid, zworldwebs.com. And from there, you'll be able to see my portfolio, my background. And just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I do not have a PhD. So Mr. Z, Senor Z, Professor Z, Mr. Z is good. If you call me by my full name, you're going to have a problem. But no problems here because this is a happy place. Thanks to you both. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you as well, man. And Happy New Year.
Thank you, buddy. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. We'll see you next week.
See you next year.
Take care.
Take care. He's an
Wow.
amazing guy. If something happened and all our members were transported to another universe
Yeah.
and it was just me and Dr. Z,
Yeah.
I would rebuild NRG all over again. I rebuilt it after 2008, after the recession, 1,100 down to 28. I mean, who's going to do that? I am the Rocky Balboa of networking. Mr. T, Clubber Lang, whatever.
So they don't
I
have
get
anything
knocked
on you.
down, and you keep going. I mean, anyone who's out there watching this, you're going to go up, you're going to go down.
Yeah.
You got to be like a rubber band, resilient,
Yes.
and know that God's got a hand in it. And
So true.
the thing I've learned from Raphael lately, law of attraction, God is my partner.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you're Jewish like me, Christian. It doesn't even matter if you don't believe in God. You've got to have a source. You've
Yeah.
got to have someone. Could be Michael Jordan as your source. I don't know. But you've got to have a bigger source, bigger than
Yes.
you,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Not to get religious, but you've got to have something. And I know, that when I walked out of Hopkins after that surgery, after another hospital told me they would not operate because I wouldn't make it, and I switched from there to Hopkins, God's got a hand in everything. God's got a
Indeed.
hand in it all.
We're just here for the ride, man. This is
We
his
are.
thing. We just have to
We
figure
are.
that out, and then I think so much of what life really has to offer us and show us will begin to make sense. So I agree with you. I agree with you a lot with that one.
Absolutely.
This has been such an
Absolutely.
amazing showcase. I believe our next guest is here, so we can bring her on now.
Awesome.
All
So it
right. How are
starts.
Deanna? How are you?
I'm doing great. You guys can hear me just fine?
We hear you amazing.
We
Yes.
can. You're coming in
All
clear.
right.
All right.
Wonderful.
So,
So you
or
all have a
I'll
great
ask
day.
Deanna a couple questions. I'll bring you back, and we'll go from there. So,
Sounds good.
Deanna, it's so fitting you come on right after Dr. Z. You guys are working with me in that 4 o'clock Eastern in the Atlanta group, even though you're in Seattle. That's just a small detail, but you have got. For those of you who don't know Deanna, she's an amazing financial advisor out of the Seattle area. She's in 2 groups now, Atlanta and New York City. We had an opening there, and she was the first one I called. And it's great, Deanna, to see you twice a week. You're always smiling, always upbeat. You picked up a new client from someone that Z had brought out. I had not even signed him up yet. He, for whatever reason, a couple days, and you already had a discussion with him, not only for yourself but other people, family or clients or whatever. So, what is it about what you do? Because I find you fascinating. There's so many financial advisors, right? There's that old thing, you could find one at every street corner with the Aflac rep and whatever. But what makes Deanna O'Neill, beside your charismatic personality, what makes you different and what makes people comfortable with you? Because investing with someone is not, I consider it almost as hard as selling copiers, which I did for 17 and a half years. And the reason I started NRG, but why do people feel so comfortable with you?
Well, that's a great question, Mike. I think basically it really comes down to my perspective. I'm not looking at trying to make money. I'm looking at trying to help people through a lens of financial wellness. And so helping people understand to take the stress, the anxiety, every single person has to deal with money every single day. And it can be so overwhelming. It can be so much to deal with that people don't. They really push it aside. They get all stressed about it. They really don't want to have to even think about investing. And so when you take that out and you help someone understand that it can be easy, it can be comfortable, it can be part of your life, it really makes a very different relationship, because it is that. It's that relationship with money. It's that relationship of life, because money should be part of life and it should help us live our best lives. And so when we're dealing with investing, when we're dealing with even money management, should it be comfortable? Absolutely. Should it be about just making money? No. Should money make you a better life? Yes. And so that is my theory. That's my philosophy. And I do come at it with a smile and jokes and humor, because we need to have humor in life. So that's where hopefully it seems to be working so far. And I know that my clients love chatting, because I like to talk and just help people feel comfortable about everything that we're dealing with.
I love your answer. Thank you. That was phenomenal. What I'm going to ask you a different question. I haven't asked anyone else because I know sometimes in the copier, sometimes I'd sell them right away. Sometimes it would take longer. What's been a more challenging? Of course, we won't mention names, but what's been a more challenging scenario where it took you 3 months, 6 months, a year and a half? You pretty much in the back of your brain, you're like, silly, why am I still following up with them? But what is a success story? Because in sales, they say a lot of times you need to call on someone 7, 8, 10, 11 times. Honestly, with NRG, they see it, they like it, they join. If it goes much more than two, a lot of times they don't. But what's been a longer sales cycle for you that you stayed in there? And the point I'm driving at, you were persistent, you were consistent, you checked in once a week, once a month, once a quarter. Take 2-3 minutes, roll through that scenario. But most importantly, how did you feel about yourself, your self-image, when you were able to help that person that wasn't ready, the first time?
Oh, absolutely. When it comes to money, people have to have trust. Trust is not going to be built overnight. And so these stories, these are very, very common. Working with someone, dealing with someone on a regular basis, just talking about that, for them to build that credibility, that trust, to understand that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm not just in it for me. I'm in it for them. And so, yes, I have had several clients, several businesses that I've worked with, and I just consistently show up. They're not getting rid of me that easy. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to call every month, or I'm going to be there every 6 months, whatever it is, so that they know, oh yeah, she's still here. She knows what she's talking about. And I believe that she knows what she's talking about, because that is what it is all based on. If you don't trust someone, you're not going to do business with them. And that's what I love about NRG, is because it really helps build that trust. We see people on a regular basis. We know their businesses. And so the referrals from it are based in that trust. So if you refer someone who's also part of NRG, you have that underlying credibility. And it's really a wonderful organization. And that's why I utilize it as one of my main sources for referrals, because we need to build that foundation.
Right. You know what? You're very, very articulate in what you described, but you're very good at making people feel relaxed. I know when I met you, there wasn't any, it was just, we could talk. We could just be ourselves. And I mean, that's how I've always been. Some people say there's no filters, but I think we've got filters. We say we're we have personalities and humor. I'm going to bring Oren back on this last question. We've got a lot of NRG testimonials, but I want you, I'm giving you the hardest questions because we're almost done. What was one example of maybe a client you picked up, or it doesn't even have to be a client. Maybe you met with someone through NRG. Maybe Z referred you to Joe, Joe referred you to Mickey, Mickey referred you to Susie. Give us an example of a success story for you. Whether it doesn't matter, it could be a client, it could be a prospect. You know what I'm driving. I want people to hear an example. It could just be meeting somebody new and realizing you both were from Seattle and you were Russell Wilson fans before he got traded, and we won't talk about that at all because I think we've already talked football 4 times. But give us one example, and then we'll bring Oren back in. Thank you.
Well, through NRG, I've not only made some amazing networking contacts, I have made those amazing friendships, and some that when I call them up on the phone, I can definitely make sure that they have the answers. But there have been those that have been through Christine. She's amazing, and she's given me referrals, and she's helped me understand that she has another friend who's not necessarily part of NRG, but wants someone to talk to, and just for questions. And they might not even be a client, but it's really about answering those questions. And again, helping the fellow NRG member know that I'm there as a resource. So her friend had a couple questions. I answered her questions for her. Great. And that really led to Christine feeling like I am that resource when she needs it. And so that is how we can help it. We can build that community. My whole goal with my business is to have that community. So when my clients need something, I know exactly who's going to have that information for them.
So important.
Great point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oren, I mean, Deanna's amazing. She's
She
in
is.
2 groups officially, just like Z. The three of us, we've been on some calls together with just the three of us, and we network, and Deanna's a great example of how to build a financial planning business correctly, because I've seen a lot of different ones, and they go from dry to the oil salesman or whatever, and Deanna does a great job. I love how she is. I wouldn't change anything. So Ord, I will turn it back over to you, buddy.
Yes, indeed. I was going to say I wouldn't change anything either. Deanna, you are amazing. Listening to you share and really speak about what you do, and just your being intentional to make sure that who you work with gets what they need from you. So that is amazing. Please tell new people where they can reach you.
Easiest way is you can go to my website. It's Key Financial. That is KI Financial.
Okay.
It's the Japanese word for key, which is your inner chi, finding your inner life, but keyfinancial.life.
Okay.
You can also give me a call or text at 360-633-6907. I am Deanna O'Neill with Key Financial.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome. I'll tell you something. This is such a great showcase. And as we're coming to the close, it's just getting better. Just want to keep on
Absolutely.
going. Yeah, this has been good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Happy New Year
Deanna.
to you.
Well,
Happy
thank you so much
holidays.
for having me. Yes, happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Take care.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, this has been good.
Yeah, one after the next.
It is. It is. Yes, indeed. And last but
Z
not
would
least,
say go 24 hours,
go
but
24.
I need some food in there.
No, I'll tell you something. When you said that earlier, I thought about it, and it made me think back to, you right, the telethons that used to run 24 hours a day, just to really, highlight so much of what people are doing in the community, and just, nationwide, worldwide. So what you have here, man, is something that has to continue, so, we have our last but not least guest up, Miss Yasmin Baylog. Are you ready to bring her on?
Yeah, you go Yasmina. So I think
Yasmina,
that's
yes,
it for the
indeed.
day, right?
It is.
We'll,
Yasmina, here
we'll
we
bring
are.
her in, and then you and I'll kind of wrap. So
Okay, sounds good. Yasmina, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thank you. How are
Yes,
you
you'll
guys
have a great
doing?
chat. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Awesome, awesome.
it's great to see you, Yasmina. So I'm going to welcome, for those of you watching this today, or Yasmina, this is going to go everywhere viral. So we've never done an NRG showcase. I met Yasmina probably 2.5 months ago. She's been a delight since she started. She gets the networking. She's referred several members to me, several which have joined. She is in the health and wellness arena. And Yasmin, I'm going to start with you on what you do, and then we'll kind of move to NRG. But I'm going to ask you 3 questions. What is it about what you do, and maybe talk a little bit about it, kind of big picture? What is it about health and wellness for you that excites you? And when you wake up in the morning, you're excited to be alive, and you want to get the day going, and you want to reach out to all the referrals from NRG and everybody else. But what is it about health and wellness that really gets you excited and gets the blood going?
Well, Mike, thank you for having me on the podcast, first of
You're
all.
welcome.
So I have been in health and wellness my whole life. And what excites me is helping people feel good, age younger, just be able to enjoy life, because we are here to have fun and live a joyous, healthy life. And many of those things are our choices. Let's be realistic, okay? Some things happen, but some things we make happen. And so when we have control over things, that's where I come in, because when you choose something that's not so good for you, you can also choose something that's way better for you, okay?
Absolutely. You talk about your background a little bit, because I think you were in nursing before, right?
No, I wasn't in nursing. No, I was actually a nutritionist when I lived in Europe, and I was working with cancer patients, helping them change their diet to a more alkaline, healthier diets. And that was an uphill battle, because really, Mike, nobody wants to change their diet. Everybody likes to eat what they like to eat, and it's really, really hard. So then from there, I moved to what I call doing oil changes on people, which is working with water and helping them feel better by being better hydrated with good quality structured water. And then in the recent years, I have gone into the field of an affordable and non-invasive stem cell technology. Basically, the only new technology that is of its kind. First time in the history of humankind that we can activate our own stem cells that are in our body.
so there's a lot of people out there, when you say stem cell, they don't know what it is. What are some of the 2 or 3 benefits of stem cell technology that you're using?
Okay, so basically stem cells are the cells that show up at conception, and they literally build your body from scratch. There is not a single cell in your body that wasn't once a stem cell. And as you age, your body is built. After age 20, 25, you don't need so many stem cells. You're not building the body, so there is less and less activity. And what that relates into is the term that I wanted to actually introduce. I believe a lot of people are not aware of the term called inflammaging. It's inflammation that gets worse and worse. It's a low level of inflammation. It's not related to any particular infection in the body. It's just low levels of inflammation that happen, and they get worse and worse as we age. And that's exactly what we do. We reverse that process with our anti-inflammatory technology.
I have a new word going into 2023.
There you go.
Inflammaging. Am I saying that right?
Inflammaging. Yes, like inflammation with aging.
With
and,
aging.
and it's a real word. You can Google it. You will find it. It's a real word.
I consider myself relatively smart, but I'm smarter than ever going into the new year with one new word.
There you go.
One more question, then we're going to bring Oren back in. You joined NRG immediately. I'm trying to remember who was the one who referred you to me. I'm trying to remember. Lee. And Lee, when I met him, I didn't have a group for him. And I talked to Michelle and I said, I'm going to start a group. And she's like, we've already got X amount of groups. I'm like, this guy is sharp. I mean, I just referred someone to Lee yesterday. Brand new guy joined over the weekend or over the week. Never seen a meeting. Lee's already given him 4 referrals. So, I mean, Lee is a mega networker.
Yes.
What compelled you immediately? I mean, you did it almost immediately. You joined, and then before I knew it, we have these 3-way text intros. You were referring people. Why did you feel, I don't know if I want to use the word compelled, motivated, inspired to reach out to people that you knew? What did you know that you wanted to share with them? And we do this 3-way intro, which works really well. I've had thousands of them over the year, but I kudos and my hat off to you because you got it. Yeah, I didn't have to explain a lot. You got it. See how you're smiling now. You've got all the people skills down and the body language, and you're always in an upbeat mood. I know that about you. There's sometimes someone you just like get the pickle out of your mouth and smile. You know what I mean? But what was it about you? What was it why did you feel motivated to share this so quickly? And then we'll bring Lauren in and we'll wrap up. Yes.
First of all, I like the energy of NRG. I like the law of attraction, because we all attract what we give out. But I have been networking for a long time. I have a huge circle of influence, and I have been in different groups, which I will not name, but they are very organized, administratively organized. So they have certain processes that they go through every meeting. And I always felt that that's so redundant and repetitive, and it's taken a lot of my time. And then when I saw how you do it in NRG, and it's just very effective, hey, what do you need? This is what you need. Here are your referrals. Here we go. It just was like no brainer for me to refer people. And my job is to refer to you, and you explain what it is further down the way, and it either works for somebody or it doesn't, but I'm always happy to share because I think it's a very effective way to network.
I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. And it's been a joy having you aboard. I love working with you. And I know we had a chance one evening, we were talking for a little bit, and I could have talked to you forever, but you've got that amiable personality that people want to be around. And I mean, it's all law of attraction. What you put out there, people think, they're like, well, I can't do law of attraction. Law of attraction is there. It's in the background. It's working whether you're working it or not.
Exactly.
Are you tapping into it?
It's like gravity, right? It's like gravity.
Yeah.
True.
It's like food. It's there. So,
yes.
Oren, I'm going to turn it back over to you, partner.
Yes, indeed. I tell you, I have to make sure. I need to get that word. It's going to be my 2023 word. Inflammaging. Okay, here we go. Inflammaging.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Mike. It's a new word that you have educated us on today, Yasmina. We are so appreciative of just the knowledge that you have and the information that you share, and clearly the just the changing that you brought forth. You say when you were in Europe and the work that you've been doing and just the knowledge that you've been able to obtain over the years. Thank you for what you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
I
what you
love it.
do.
I enjoy it. I love helping people. So
That's good.
it works
Helping
for
people
me,
is
right?
everything. Yes,
Yes.
you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Tell us where can people reach you if they would like to learn more about what you do.
So the best way is to text me. Just text me, let's talk, or I'd like some more information. And my number is 503 317 6828. Again, 503 317 6828.
Awesome.
And I also have a little tip for everybody if you want one tip.
Please do.
So it's kind of related to the word. What is it? Inflammaging, right?
Yes.
Inflammation.
So inflammaging. So we want to lower that inflammation. Yes, I can do that with my technology, but I have a tip for everybody, which I'm sure you heard many times, but I hope you really take it seriously. You need to drink more water. You need to hydrate. If you have your goals for this year and you have not started writing them, make sure you take a big glass of water, drink a lot of water, because we suffer currently all over the planet from inflammation of the brain, which is really not detectable because your brain doesn't hurt. There is no pain inside of the brain, but our brains are inflamed. So it means flush that inflammation out. You will have a clearer thinking and you will make better decisions for the new year. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you. My consultation is completely free. The company pays for everything, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you as well, and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Take care.
Thanks, Yasmina.
You too.
Happy New
Bye,
Year
guys.
to you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So
Wow,
I think,
man.
Oren, we are done, right?
We are done. I tell you, man, how time flies. They say how time flies when you're having fun. This has definitely been great. So informative. And I'll tell you something, man. I had no idea what to expect with today, but you exceeded. I'll tell you something. I know you have people that are going to look forward to the next time when you do this again and want to be a part of it, to be able to share what they have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, appreciate you and Leon and your whole team. You know, I'm here every Wednesday with Leon at 8 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
But you know, to do the first annual NRG Showcase was great, and you know, I appreciate you being here. And everybody got here on time. We had all 11 come through.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot going on with NRG. If you want to reach me, give me a call. It's 443-756-9656. If it's after hours, just send me a text. I got the phone off then.
All
the
right.
number magically popped up. So
It sure did.
these guys got their act together. 443-756-9656. The website's nrg.online. And we are wrapping up probably our two biggest years ever in NRG. We're going into India on the 12th. There's 1.4 billion people there.
Sure is.
You know, my invitation to anyone watching this today, what's today? December 30th, 2022, whether you're watching it today or in the year 2023 or in the year 2033 or anywhere, it's in a time capsule up to Mars, is reach out to me. We will take great care of you. We'll have you come to a meeting. You'll get your referrals. If you want to join, great. Welcome to the NRG family. And that's all I've got, Oren. So I'll hang on with you when you officially end it. I've got a couple thoughts. And thank you very much. Thank you for the viewing audience. And thanks for this great team hosting us. And appreciate all the NRG members that were here too.
Yes, thank you. I ditto what you just mentioned. Thank you all so much for being guests on today's show. The showcase was awesome. We look forward to the next one. And as we enter into this new year, as I like to always say, blessings to everyone. Continue to look up and be focused on being positive. So right back at you, Mike, to what you wanted to mention to close us out.
Absolutely. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. You can do anything you want. Don't let anybody steal your dream. Turn off the TV. Turn on your dream. That's a Mike Weiner quote from 2022. Is the TV going to help you generate your dream and things like that? If it is, if you're watching Tony Robbins, great. And I'm not saying turn it off forever, but I'm saying invest in yourself. invest in motivation, invest in you, and be the best version of you that you can ever be. Never compete with somebody else. If you compete with Michael Jordan in basketball, he's going to eat your lunch. But if you compete with the worst guy ever to play basketball, Peppermint Patty or whatever, don't compete with anyone else. That's been a Mike Weiner quote forever. Bring us the best version in 2023. You will be a blessing to everyone you contact, and you're doing God's work, and God is your partner. He's by your side. And that's all I got, Oren. So
all right, man, no
I'm
problem.
saying over and out. I'll let you wrap it up here.
Oh, I'm with you. Over and out. Happy New Year to everyone. We'll see you in the new year. Take care.